For the next few days, you can get 50% off a subscription to The Athletic. See the link in the description.
Hello, I'm JJ Bull, and we're going to look at PSG and how they might line up next season, because Lionel Messi, the greatest player of all time, my favourite player of all time, he's signed for PSG. Here he is, coming from heaven. Alrighty then. He's a PSG! He's a PSG! Now, where's he going to fit in? We're going to look at how that works for PSG, whether it's a good idea. I think it might be, but that's what we're going to do. So first, let's look at where he'd actually play for the team. PSG under Mauricio Pochettino. So he's tended to always play a kind of 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, kind of versions of the same thing. This is what the 4-3-3 looks like, or could look like with Messi in there. He's also used a 4-4-2 a lot of times. But they've got options up front already. So before Messi was even near PSG, obviously we've got Kylian Mbappe, we've got Neymar, Di Maria would often start on the right here. But they've also had Mauro Icardi, who can play as a straight striker here. Di Maria can go back off the bench, and Mbappe can come onto the right. Got lots of options. So I would say the most sensible thing we'll see from PSG, or it's the most realistic and what we can come to assume, is if Icardi goes away. This is the three. The Enimum is what they can be called. It's pretty good. So, I mean, before Messi even signed, PSG were pretty good. Got some stats for you. PSG won the league 7 times in the last 9 seasons. They've reached 1 Champions League final, which is good. Last season, Kylian Mbappe scored 27 goals and provided 7 assists and 31 Ligue 1 appearances. That is good. What's even better is that he has scored more goals since 2017 than any other player in Ligue 1 by quite a distance. And the reason I choose 2017 as a reference point is because that is when Neymar joined from Barcelona. Neymar's a bit weird. Like last season, he only played 18 games in Ligue 1, scored 9 goals, provided 9 assists, which is good. But when you look through his PSG career, he's only actually played 70 games since 70 league games since he joined in 2017. That's like 4 years. It's not that long, not long really. But in those 70 games, he scored 56 goals. He's quite an elite achiever of things like goals and assists. I know it's not a real sentence, but we're going to go with it. Yeah, so Neymar and Mbappe, they have 2 of the top scorers in Ligue 1. And they've just added Messi, who has scored something ridiculous, like 672 goals and 778 appearances for Barcelona. Lots of numbers here. He is La Liga's record goal scorer with 474 goals. And last season, he scored 30 and provided 9 assists in La Liga. So he still got it. They just added even more goals to there. They've basically got the 2 most lethal strikers in Ligue 1 playing for the same team, and they've got Messi now as well. It's kind of ridiculous. One thing that is relevant though, is that one of PSG's chief creator of chances is Di Maria. Di Maria has provided 40 assists since 2017, the same time as Neymar, which is more than any other player in the league. It's really important. They've got players who score goals, but you've got to be able to supply them with chances. And that's one of the things that you take Di Maria out of the game, and you put Messi in. I mean, you don't lose any creativity, you kind of gain it. But what PSG really want is the Champions League, and again, the numbers are absolutely amazing. Rather than talking through numbers, here are some numbers here that are impressive, and here are some numbers here that are impressive. And I'm sure you loved those numbers. But the thing is, right, with Messi is that obviously he can go in here and play as a right winger, but Messi hasn't been a right winger or right inside forward for a little bit of time. His play style is a lot different to what we may think of it. So we should look at exactly how he'll fit into to PSG. He doesn't play for Barcelona anymore. How he fits into PSG and what it will look like because of the way he plays. Yeah, it's different to what he used to be. He's basically a striker now. So if they're playing a 4-3-3, this is how PSG are going to line up. Of course, you're going to have, let's move them into the attacking space here. So Neymar is a very dribbly boy who likes to work off the left channel, come inside here. He's essentially number 10. So Neymar really wants to be around these areas where he can dictate play, create things. He likes to take players on and dribble past them. You know, he's just one of the world's best players. Messi, you'll put him here for now. That's with the team up the pitch. To play with a right wing inside forward, Messi's going to come into these sorts of spaces here because Messi, for the last season at Barcelona, has basically been playing as a 3-5-2 alongside another striker. That's what he's been doing, and they've had wing backs that can do this. Because when you move in from this positions here, that's as your midfield 3, This is your strikers. If they start wide like this, in order to maintain your width, Messi comes in here, which means he has to have an overlapping fullback or wing-back to be able to give you the width. So say if Neymar comes in here and does the same thing, you've got Juan Bernat on the other side. You could have Kurzawa could be there as well. So you've got your width here. Really important you keep this width. If you don't keep width, the opposition can restrict space between defenders, which makes it much more difficult for them to thread passes through to get, in at goal. And then that's one of the reasons that you have Mbappe would often not play as a 9, because Mbappe is best when he can face the goal and run at people. He's so quick, get in behind them, he's got excellent movement off of the ball. But you got players like Icardi is more of a poacher, who's more probably tuned in to getting little bits of space that Mbappe might not in the 6-yard box. He can play with his back to goal a bit more. But then again, that's why they used Moise Kean last season as the guy who can link play better with his back to goal, essentially was what I'm trying to say. So if this is what they do, it's quite attacking. Mbappe, Messi, Hakimi and Bernat, that's going to look like something that would definitely work. But what we might see at PSG this season is them playing a back 3. Now, Messi and Mbappe and Neymar, if you look at their stats on websites like FPRef, for example, they are not great at defensive actions, things like putting pressure on defenders. So if you're trying to press from the front, and PSG in Ligue 1 press a lot, like they press in the attacking third a lot. They're the leading team in that regard for winning the ball in the opposition half. It's also because they have the best players, so that helps with it. But the reason they're able to win that back so much is because Di Maria's pressuring stats are so impressive. It's also because Verratti helps to press as a 10, and Paredes, and then Danilo holds it all together, and then your wing backs even do a lot of work for you. But Hakimi is going to make a big difference to how PSG play with Messi. So at Barcelona, you remember back in the day, you had Dani Alves was the overlapping fullback, wingback, who essentially, when you're starting, if you call a fullback a player who starts on this strata here, so let's give them some different stratas. That's centre backs, that's your fullbacks, might put your 6 in there as well. Then you have your 2 8s who are going to be basically in this line here. And then when you're building play, you want to have your forwards slightly different like this. So you've got another strata. So when I say stratas, that's what I mean. That's a striker strata, all this here. Now, if you're a wing back, so like a full back in defence, you're going to be in this line here, level with the centre backs. You might pull these guys back as well, and then you pull the wide midfielders back. So this is when you're defending. It might be like this, the lines you might work on. If you're starting with wing backs or really aggressive full backs, they start on this kind of strata, which means that these guys can move forward a little bit. And then when you move into the next zone, let's give another line. You get into this bit here, Mbappe might be here, then Messi might be here, Neymar's on this line as well, and you move your midfielders up, they're going to move up like this a little bit. So you keep your structure. But it means that the wing back can easily get up to this line here, and then maybe these guys push here, and you get a 5 with it. They're never actually in a vertical line. But if you're playing with a back 3, the difference is that rather than having to rely on a super aggressive fullback, which leaves space behind, so if you've got a fullback that goes up, you've got all this space here, Messi's here, that is where an opposition team can counter into. If you've got wing backs, you've got a lot more protection, and they have the players to do it now. So let's say, for example, we have, let's put Ramos as the right-sided centre back, Marquinhos here, we'll put Kimpembe on, and then we'll give them let's give them a different kind of midfield. Let's give them Verratti, because he's amazing, and Wijnaldum, another new signing. These guys are both very able to play from box to box and help with the way that PSG want to move up the pitch, so they can be defensive players if needed, they can move into wide spaces if needed, and they can also help with things in the final third. But straight away, with this setup, you've got Hakimi can now play just basically as a winger, Bernat can play basically as a winger, so they are now, rather than being on the fullback kind of strata, they're now straight away on this strata like this. So it's kind of the midfield strata, which then means that Messi, Mbappe and Neymar, this is the 3 that play. They've got an extra defensive player, so Kimpembe's now in there to give a bit of protection there. You've got this box midfield, which can, not box midfield, but a midfield that looks after this. And you've got the same attacking shape. So when they go forward, you've got Mbappe, Messi, Neymar, to do all the damage. Like all of PSG top scorers are Mbappe and Neymar. Now they're going to have Messi as well. And so you've got that same 5 that get up to the top, but you've got additional cover. Because now you have Verratti, Wijnaldum, Kimpembe, Marquinhos, Ramos can look after this back part of the team. It's relevant to how you win the ball back. So Pochettino's teams, he's quite well known for his pressing style. He expects a lot of running. Spurs used to play a kind of 3-4-3 and a 3-5-2 sometimes, but Spurs would often change from a 4-2-3-1 into a 3-4-3. So that would look like this. Ramos and Kimpembe could be the two centre-backs. Marquinhos is a defensive midfielder. You've got your, let's put Verratti next to Marquinhos. In fact, no, we'll put Wijnaldum and Marquinhos here. Verratti is a 10. Fullbacks like this. Then you've got Neymar, Mbappe and Messi. So this is a way they could do it. And Verratti's played as a 10 for PSG in the past under Pochettino as well. So when they want to progress, say they want to fall back into a 3 now, or even if they want to be able to go from this sort of shape here, let's put Wijnaldum on the ball. So if they want to defend, these guys drop back here. You've got 2 defensive midfielders who can look after it. Verratti drops in the form of 3. That is a good amount of players for a block. Neymar, Messi and Mbappe can stay further up. And if you swap Mbappe out for Suarez, what you essentially have then is the Barcelona that played under Luis Enrique, who are great in the counter-attack. But what now you can do with this shape is that when they go up the pitch, Hakimi needs to give the width on the right, so he's going to get right up here. And again, that leaves all this space in behind, which we don't want to leave. And Bernat's going to get all the way up here as well to overlap Neymar, to let Neymar move inside here. And so the way you facilitate that then is that when these guys push up the pitch, Verratti and Wijnaldum stay on the level to provide you with the midfield cover here. Marquinhos drops into the middle of these two, and then you've got your 3-2-5 again. Oh, there's one more. I just thought another one that might really work very well is a 4-4-2. And we've already seen PSG line up in this sort of shape under Pochettino in pre-season. I think actually in the season it started already. But yeah, because we're seeing Messi plays as a striker and has played as part of a front 2. What I mean is he's not Ronaldo standing up front trying to poach. Messi goes wherever Messi wants to go, and he will often drop like right into midfield. He'll drop into here to pick up the ball and start dictating play. He'll basically dribble around anywhere he wants. Anywhere he can affect the game, he will go, because he will be marked a lot of the time, and he does that to escape it. But if you play with this 4-4-2, this might not be exactly how it looks, in this sort of way. But what you can get is Messi will do a sort of wandering. Di Maria can play to give that pressure from the front, the defensive actions he gives in the front, as well as the assists he provides. Even in this sort of space here, with your 2, Mbappe will play as obviously one of the main strikers, could be Icardi. Then Hakimi can get right up here to help support this bit. Then it just needs Verratti to sort of cover these areas. I'll give him a little draw. You need Verratti to cover these sorts of spaces behind Hakimi when he gets right forward. Cover this, and when they have to work as a pair here. Marquinhos as well behind Verratti can help clear that up if it's a problem. Then Neymar can do the same thing he does. He dribbles around, he can overlap Mbappe, he can help out and become a striker sort of next to him. And so it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to require a lot of work from the manager to get his players to do this automatically. But when you have Messi dictating play from here and you've got all these players, it's never going to get Di Maria into the team. 4-4-2 doesn't look anything like a 4-4-2 there, but yet it 100% is, because when you move them back into like this, that's what a 4-4-2 looks like, or 4-2-2-2. The numbers don't matter. Basically, they're going to get all these players in the same team. That's just another way we can do it. So there's lots of options that they've got. Messi is like the greatest player of all time ever. He will score about 1 million goals in Liga. He will easily take them to close to winning Champions League, if not over the line. Yeah, his numbers are amazing. The relevant thing, I think, is how Neymar, Mbappe and Messi don't do an awful lot of defensive work, and Pochettino has to find a way to make that work. If you take out Di Maria, you lose a lot of the pressuring that he gives you, and then you need to find yourself defensive cover elsewhere. And it could be that just the way they play has got to be a little bit, it's got to be well coached, and that's something Pochettino's good at. So yeah, it's pretty amazing that Messi's at PSG now. If you couldn't tell already, I love him quite a lot. So it's going to be fun to watch. Lots of different ways they could play. This is probably what you'll see, if not this 3-4-3, from a 4-2-3-1, something similar to that. But yeah, it'd be good fun to watch. And for more like this, you know where you can get more of it like this? Right here on Tifo YRL, give us a subscribe, I'd really love that. And it'd be lovely to see your comments and see what I've got wrong this time, because Kimpembe is on the left side this time. So yeah, have a lovely time. And by the way, if you enjoy this video, I very much recommend going to The Athletic, because there are some amazing articles on the transfer behind the scenes of it, especially one by Adam Crafton, which just has all the inside information, all the inside scoop. It really does have that, and it tells you like how the transfer started, how it happened, like how they got it done. There's some surprise details that you'll find out in the article there. 100, huge recommendation. Definitely read Adam Crafton's piece on the Messi transfer to PSG. It's great.
For the next few days, you can get 50% off a subscription to The Athletic. See the link in the description.